A very warm welcome to all of you present here today. It is our pleasure to host you at the Intergenerational Dialogue on Youth-led Global Action. The organizing of today's dialogue showcases an integral working area of the GYM as well as what we stand for, providing platforms that will facilitate direct connections between young changemakers and senior stakeholders to have honest conversations about the common issues that both parties are actively acting in and advocating for. Before we start, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Michelle Chu, hailing from Malaysia. I'm a youth board representative of the Global Youth Mobilization from the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies, where I'm also serving as a youth commissioner representing the Asia Pacific region. Together with me moderating today's session, we have Chris.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am Chris Chukwunyere Njoku from Nigeria. I am an awardee of GYM's Local Solutions and Accelerator programs and the project lead of Increasing COVID-19 Education, Prevention, Vaccine Confidence and Uptake in Nigeria project. I am a public health and youth development specialist and currently an Information Futures Fellow at Brown University School of Public Health, USA. I am incredibly excited to be here with you all today. We hope you have enjoyed the different showcases and conversations in the virtual sessions so far and are excited for this next segment.
Today's intergenerational dialogue is a high-level conversation between us, the young people of GYM, and two incredible senior leaders and CEOs. The first of which is Anna Siegel, the chair of GYM and CEO of the largest voluntary movement dedicated to girls and young women in the world, the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts, WAGS. Anna is an inspiring leader with 25 years experience leading complex operations and multi-million-dollar budgets with INGOs, the Red Cross, the UN Agency for Palestine Refugees, government and private sector.
Our second esteemed speaker, Elizabeth Cousins, is the president and CEO of a powerful international foundation helping the United Nations to drive global progress and deliver on the SDGs, the United Nations Foundation. Before joining the foundation, Elizabeth served for several years at the UN missions in New York, Nepal, and the Middle East. She is the proud recipient of the Rhodes Scholarship at the University of Oxford. Elizabeth and Anna, we are honored to have you as part of this dialogue. Welcome and thank you for joining. As part of today's dialogue, we are also looking forward to hearing from two more incredible senior leaders who are strong allies for young people today and who are championing youth engagement through their work globally. They could not be here with us today, but will be sharing their messages with us later on. These are Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, Director General of the World Health Organization, and Jutta Uppäläinen, the Commissioner for International Partnerships at the European Union.
We would now like to open this conversation with a statement by the young people driving GYM, the youth board representatives, youth panelists, and awardees, in which we draw from our experiences to put forth reflections and calls to all those working in the international youth and development sectors.
Global Youth Mobilization is celebrating 2 years of youth-led global action. As youth board representatives, youth panelists, and awardees of GYM, we are excited to amplify the voices of the young people GYM has reached through an investment of over $5 million, supporting more than 630 projects in over 120 countries. GYM has highlighted the difference that young people can make in the world.
Young people are indeed unstoppable together. As we reflect upon our journey thus far, we are very excited for what in store next in the space of youth engagement and youth-led advocacy. To this end, we would like to call for positive improvements across the youth and development sector in 2023 and beyond in 4 key areas.
First, upscaling of investment in youth-led community-based solutions. Global youth mobilization has enabled young people to create positive social impact within their communities. Young people at the grassroots were mobilized to engage with diverse, marginalized communities and diverse solutions to address underlying social issues in an effort to build more resilient communities. Amazing initiatives such as these need to be recognized, and young people need to be supported through concrete actions.
Second, empowering youths by not only investing in projects financially but also our potential. Young changemakers are actively seeking to enhance their own skills and capacities to be better problem solvers. We call for more mentorship opportunities with industry experts so that we can work towards continuous improvement personally and professionally, especially in the implementation of grassroots local solutions.
Third, connecting young people, enabling them to build strong and collaborative peer networks. Young people enjoy being part of a community of like-minded local actors, and we yearn for opportunities to network, learn from, and collaborate with other young trailblazers addressing similar issues across the world.
Fourth, involving young people in high-level policy and decision-making. More doors need to be opened for grassroots youth changemakers to speak up on the issues that we are experiencing and the realities that we face on the ground in our communities every day.
Through global youth mobilization, young people were able to identify, address, and unite diverse communities through the power of action, innovation, and sheer perseverance to make a remarkable social impact across the world. A powerful transition from troublemakers to changemakers, despite the numerous hurdles we sail through. It is now evident that the journey to create sustainable communities cannot be done alone, but with meaningful intergenerational dialogues. It is time that the global leaders prioritize the potential of young people through accessible funding, involvement in policymaking, and opportunities to lead change. Invest in us, young people. Invest in the future today.
Being part of the development of the statement and bringing together of the different youth voices that have fed into it, I just want to say that I'm extremely inspired and proud of all the young people that mobilized to lead positive change at all the different levels of the GYM, which include change for each other through enabling meaningful youth engagement as youth board representatives, change for youth leaders at the grassroots trying to tackle key issues in their communities, through enabling accessible and youth-friendly funding, and change for the world through being part of and helping to drive this unique youth-led model that really is an example of what can be achieved when we enable young people to meaningfully engage and lead on global issues. Before we dive into our conversation today, let us hear from Dr. Tedros on his thoughts and reflection on the GYM and our youth statement.
2 years since its launch, I'm proud of the achievements of the global youth mobilization. More than 600 young people and youth-focused organizations have engaged millions of young people and their communities to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic and the challenges it presented. We have seen a youth-led model for leadership, decision-making, and localized solutions that should encourage others to invest in the ideas and potential of young people everywhere. I welcome the GYM's youth statement, and I agree completely that it's critical we listen to and include young people's voices and experiences in policy and decision-making. That we trust and invest in their potential to lead positive change in their communities, and that we help them build strong networks and partnerships. WHO is committed to harnessing the ideas, the energy, and the leadership of young people through the WHO Youth Council and the Young Professionals Program, the Global Model WHO, and of course, the Global Youth Mobilization. Thank you all for your ongoing commitment to a healthier, safer, fairer future for our world. I thank you.
Thank you for your incredibly encouraging message of support and solidarity, Dr. Tedros. It is important to say that we could not do this without allies such as yourself opening the doors for young people to engage and lead. On that note, Elizabeth, may I invite you to provide your reflections on the youth statement and the model of GYN?
Well, thank you, Michelle, for your warm introduction. I'm absolutely delighted to be here with you, Chris and Anna, and thank you to everyone who is participating today. I love that youth statement, and like Dr. Tedros, I'm a huge fan of global youth mobilization. In just a couple of years, and they were such hard years, GYM had such reach and so much impact across so many communities, and that work is incredibly inspiring and genuinely mobilizing for, honestly, all of us. The UN Foundation is very proud to have financially supported global youth mobilization. I think, as you know, we did that through the COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund, which in those earliest days of the pandemic was the first and only way for individuals, organizations, companies, philanthropies from anywhere in the world to contribute directly to the global health response led by WHO. It was a fast and scaled way to get resources where they were most critically needed. And I'm so proud that funding the creation of global youth mobilization was one of the absolute earliest priorities. We know the pandemic upended the lives of young people massively, putting at risk their health, their livelihoods, education, and so much more. And to the credit of our friends at WHO, they were early champions of the Solidarity Response Fund, directly supporting young people at the front lines of the pandemic. And we were just delighted to partner with the big 6 organizations who shaped global youth mobilization so wonderfully. An important point about GYM for listeners is not only the local solutions, which are extraordinary, the 630 projects that led to real results for so many communities, but also that in its design, in putting young people at the center of decision-making and governance, you also created a model that has just tremendous potential for the future. So consider us an enthusiastic supporter of your 4-point call to action. We're happy to play a role in helping you realize it. And just congratulations again to everyone who contributed to the success of global youth mobilization.
Thank you for sharing that, Elizabeth. And once again, thank you for your support as well. I completely resonate with you that the accessible funding model of GYM has really provided so many opportunities to grassroots youths who are actively searching for solutions to contribute to their communities in the very hard times that we all face, the challenges of COVID-19. And I'd like to follow up with another question, Elizabeth. Young people around the world today are striving to build a healthier, fairer, and more sustainable future in the midst of all the barriers that they face. So speaking on the theme of being unstoppable together and the importance of intergenerational partnerships, how can senior leaders like yourself ensure that young people are at the heart of solution building for the issues that affect us and our communities, and that we're better supported and equipped to take action to ensure that we can do our part in global efforts to meet the SDGs?
Well, first, Michelle, let me underscore the premise of your question. Young people absolutely need to be at the heart of solution building and decision making. We cannot have a productive future or a fair future if half the world's population under 30 isn't meaningfully engaged in designing it, including with a view to the 11 billion people still to be born this century. But as we know, and as you very well know, the engagement of young people can be superficial. It can be tokenistic. So we need young people, not just on the dais, but at the table where decisions are being made and implemented. And I certainly see that as a huge need at the global level where we do so much of our work. So if we're serious about reimagining and rejuvenating the multilateral system for a better and fairer future, we absolutely have to create meaningful platforms for young people to shape those agendas and those decisions, including intergenerationally. So at the UN Foundation, we've been proud to support the Unlock the Future Coalition, in which GYM is so active, that brings together young changemakers around the world and 23 of the world's largest youth-led and youth-focused organizations with a global reach of nearly 1 billion people for precisely that purpose. Through the Unlock Coalition, we're constantly trying to develop and support and pioneer tools that give young people concrete opportunities for exactly that influence on global decision-making. So that includes collaborative processes like the Big Brainstorm, which is a virtual event that engages young people around the world in a design sprint to explore, prototype, and launch initiatives to tackle big challenges. This year, the Brainstorm is kicking off again just about now through the end of February, and it's focused on SDG acceleration. And we already have 2,000 young people registered to participate. It includes hosting an engine room as an ongoing forum for collaboration and cross-community support, very much along the lines of your calls to action. And it includes working together on this absolutely vital question of funding and improving the quality and quantity of financial support to youth leadership and youth-led work. So look, I'll just close by underscoring what a pivotal year this year, 2023, is. We hit the halfway mark on the SDGs, and we have got to re-energize its core ambition to build a better future and leave no one behind. We have the global stocktake on progress under the Paris Climate Agreement. We have summits on financing, high-level meetings on global health, and real opportunities, therefore, to align powerfully around an ambitious agenda for change that can truly drive progress for everyone, everywhere. And I'm just really excited to see what young people like you, working with colleagues and partners around the world, can get done in this really decisive year.
Thank you for the incredibly insightful words. It seems like there's a lot in store for the year ahead, and hopefully lots more positive development for youth engagement and youth-led advocacy.
Thank you so much, Michelle and Elizabeth. I would now like to invite the Commissioner for International Partnerships at the European Commission, Jutta Oplinen, to share her thoughts and messages with us.
Hello, everybody. Let me first thank you. I am truly inspired by the young people who took part in the global youth movement. I could not agree more with your youth statement. Creating sustainable communities demands meaningful intergenerational dialogue and youth participation. This is at the heart of my work as the EU Commissioner for International Partnerships. I created the first youth sounding board for international partnerships. Now we have a group of 25 young people from around the world advising us on our policy making. With their support and input from youth organizations, the EU built its first ever youth action plan for external action. It focuses on similar elements as the movement has prioritized: engage, empower, connect. To engage, we will increase young people's involvement in policy and decision making, including in political parties and civic movements, supporting grassroots organizations, and promoting freedom of assembly. To empower, we will work to give young people the skills they need. We will offer youth-friendly financial support for youth-led initiatives. And to connect, we will promote youth mobility, exchanges, and networking. Dear friends, this is the most important message from me. I hear you, I trust you, and I will continue doing everything I can to empower you and give you a seat at the table. Because only together we can build more sustainable, resilient, and inclusive future.
Thank you so much for hearing our calls to action and reflecting on our experiences, Commissioner. It is clear that what we are calling for is being put into action by the European Union through the Youth Action Plan. I am truly excited and look forward to seeing the impact this work will have on young people globally. Anna, could I now turn to you? As the GYM chair, you have been at the forefront of leading this initiative. Your vision and leadership has enabled us to actualize these ideas and build this movement. Could I kindly invite you to share your reflections and thoughts on our youth statement?
Thank you very much, Chris. First, I want to say it's a pleasure to be here on behalf of the Global Youth Mobilization Board of CEOs of the Big Six and the Youth Board representatives. Thank you for the youth statement. It's inspiring, and the 4 key calls for positive improvements in the youth and development sector are inspiring also and need to be heeded. First, invest in youth. Second, empower youth. Third, connect youth. And fourth, involve youth in policy and decision-making. Over the past 2 years in delivering the Global Youth Mobilization, we, the Big Six, have learned so much from you all. From the young people who sit on Jim's board, the youth panelists who have driven decision-making in local solutions micro-grant programs, and all of the young changemakers who have been working to build back better from the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. We plan to be guided by this learning, by your voices and feedback, and to have it inform and shape the way we work with you in the future. Over to you now, Chris. I was impressed to learn about the project you delivered through Jim's Accelerator program. Your project created a network of global youth mobilizers who inspired young people across communities in Nigeria to combat misinformation about COVID-19 and to increase vaccine uptake. As the chair of the Global Youth Mobilization, I'm delighted to be sharing this platform with you and would like to know, looking ahead, what are your hopes and ambitions for your project? And how, in your opinion, can young people such as yourself best be supported to continue and amplify the important work you are doing? Thank you.
Thank you so much for that question, Anna. The GYM Accelerator program provided my team and I with the platform to be empowered with funding, capacity, and mentorship. This gave us the opportunity to build a more effective team. I believe when young people like me are equipped and empowered with knowledge, skills, and resources through funding, capacity building, and mentorship, there is no limit to how much impact we can create globally. Looking ahead, I hope to continue to work with the over 70 global youth mobilizers across 7 states in Nigeria who have been equipped to address COVID-19 misinformation and improve vaccine uptake. We hope to ultimately create a network of at least 1,000 global youth mobilizers across all the 36 states in Nigeria who would develop innovative solutions to not just only combat COVID-19, but other social and development issues within their communities.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us, Chris. We're all rooting for you to reach your target and beyond in cultivating more youth mobilizers. And we're now at the end of our dialogue today. It has certainly been an inspiring and energizing conversation. We hope that all of you joining us here today felt a similar positive energy as we highly encourage you to continue engaging in intergenerational dialogues like this. By reflecting on the experiences and lessons learned from GYM, we also hope that it will help you or your organization to spearhead innovations on new models of youth engagement. Let us work collectively to create enabling environments for young people to contribute their ideas and solutions to social issues of grave concern to our generations in hopes that we could prevent their exacerbation that would ultimately affect future generations.
Thank you, Elizabeth and Anna, for the time that you've given out of your busy schedules to grace the event and for bringing in your expertise. Thank you to Dr. Tedros and Commissioner Juta for sharing their reflections and being key allies for young people.
We also like to extend a big thank you to our global audience for tuning in and supporting us over the past 2 years. We hope that you'll join the conversation and share your thoughts and reflections with us through our word cloud and poll, as well as on our social media platforms across Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook using the hashtag YouthMobilize. Thank you and goodbye.